Let's talk about what we know and what we don't know and bring in Jonathan Panikoff. He is director of the Atlantic Council's Scowcroft Middle East Security Initiative. Not really sure where to start, Jonathan, because it changes by the hour. I guess maybe that's where I'll start, which is asking you, where do you think we are at this hour?
Brian, great to be with you. Look, I think, as you said, it's going back and forth and it's changing pretty consistently. I think there's kind of three things to look at. If Pakistan, and there's rumors China actually may get involved as well, yes, that could help prompt new rounds of a negotiation, but the Iranians are going to start from the same place. And so that's going to make it very, very difficult when it comes to actually getting a solution on the Strait of Hormuz. I think there's a second challenge of this right now that for the Saudis especially, Yanbu has been now how they've moved a lot of the oil out with the strait closed. If that closes and if the Houthis don't allow, frankly, Saudi exports to Asia, you're talking about a huge time and cost increase, and I think we've got to calculate that. And then the third thing is really, look, I think there's some confusion and challenges within the Iranian system itself. They are clearly not united internally, and that's also going to be something that's going to have to be factored in here.
Yes. I know somebody has been talking about that. I know I've been a broken record on this. Some people on Twitter are like, man, you keep saying the same thing. Tell us what we know, what you know, I know there's a lot we don't know. That's what the only thing I'm actually convinced of is that I don't know everything, and I'm not sure how this is going to play out. What do you think?
Yeah, so look, I think there's two possibilities that are kind of more immediate. One is, yes, you could try to get to a temporary ceasefire. There were some rumors that the Qataris were looking at a 10-day ceasefire. I don't totally know what that would accomplish, and I think it's a challenge, and we haven't quite gotten there. I think if there's something more holistic, the question is going to be, how does it come about? Does it come about because it's actually through force that President Trump tries to de-escalate by escalating in the short term? I know that some people believe that that's a possibility and could work. I'm skeptical of that fundamentally because I don't believe it's going to change Iranian leadership thinking. My guess is it would harden it. There's a UK-US meeting on a possible international maritime coalition that's going to happen next week. It's just been reported out. That could be a possibility, but you probably have to get the Omanis on board. That might be a creative outlet here. But I think ultimately, at the end of the day, this is still going to come back to some sort of diplomatic negotiation. Whether it's next week, next month, or next year, you're still going to have to end with some sort of diplomatic resolution, and that includes for the Strait and probably for Iran's nuclear weapons program.
So who's got to be in that?